is such an incredible person, and we're so honored to know her. She's the founder of Vision Train, and, which has been, you know, ongoing 24 hours a day for years now. She'll tell you more about that. But anyway, well, Man is a board member of COSM.
Yes, and
A divine artist.
amazing. Someone who carries the kind of the visionary art tradition with a real kind of mission. And she's one of the best artists out there, but also one of the best instructors. So so the heart that she brings into her art is also there in her instruction. So anyway, we're
as a
honored.
board member, she takes a particular interest in the education.
Yes.
In the educational program at COSM. So yeah. Oh, good. I'm good about the chairs. That's a good idea. I know. We're gonna have rich races, some of you. We really love you, though. Yeah, we'll just keep
That's
switching,
so cool.
switching chairs like musical chairs.
We ought to have a 360 camera in the middle, you know, and spray it onto the ceiling. But hey, thank you, Amanda. Thank you for coming tonight and having a conversation.
Thanks so much for inviting me to be a part of this conversation. I'm going to say we, because I think we're all on board.
Yes,
we
we
love you so much.
You said that you were going to introduce yourself in a different way, though. I introduced you the way I know you, but I wanted to hear how you would introduce yourself.
Wow. Well, you know, there's so many angles to come from, but when we come from source, from the root of what our purpose is, what we're here for, what's driving us, you know, I'm here to contribute to the awakening of humanity at this time.
Yes.
That we are capable, we were given such a gift to be here in this life and at this time, in this body.
Yes, we are.
You are the only one that can be you. Each one of us has a unique gift to give, and if you don't give it, it will never be seen. It will never be known, and it's going to take all of us.
Yes.
You know, and we're just kind of the tip of the iceberg, guys. Those of you that are here, you're already on board.
That's right.
If you didn't know it already, I'm letting you know. You're on board this train, you're on board this spaceship, you're on board this journey of love, back to love. And so that's what I'm committed to, and whatever medium it's gonna take, I'm gonna do it through that.
Yeah.
And you know what, I just kept showing up. And I had great teachers and great opportunities, and I was open. The first prayer is I wanted to contribute to a world that works for all. Thank you, Buckminster Fuller. And there's been so many along the way, right? We're just like we're the froth of the next wave right now. And there's another wave coming and another wave coming. And so as we lay the tracks, right, we build the stations.
Yes.
Chapel of Sacred Mirrors, COSM, Wappinger Falls. Who's been there? Raise your hand. Who's been there? Okay, you guys, all of you that haven't raised your hands, I am assuming it's on your bucket list.
Yes.
And it's a pilgrimage. It's truly a pilgrimage, right? What these two have built, these are doers, right? A visionary, it doesn't take all that much to be a visionary. I would guess all of you are visionaries here. To enter the visionary realm is to go into the infinite field of the potential.
That's right.
But then to actually do it takes another kind of dedication.
Do it.
What does it take to bring your vision into being?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, you know, it's like taking on something larger than yourself is taking on something that you don't making promises that you don't know how you'll keep and then keeping them. The whole thing is the technology of being a place where miracles happen. So, if you want to be a place where miracles occur, there's a few technologies, but that's one of them. And I think we did that. We were given this sort of task within our experience to build a temple of visionary art. We were really looking to make an environment, because we were artists, we were performance and installation artists. We were looking to create the ultimate psychedelic experiential environment. That was kind of like our earliest thought about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I used it several times in that way, because we had multiple exhibitions of the sacred mirrors over the years, and it came to Boulder, actually. And
that's right, one of the earliest times that the entire series was exhibited with the frames on, was at the University of Colorado Boulder, and brought together by the nursing school. The nursing school wanted them, and they got together with the gallery, the art gallery, and they never met each other.
Yeah,
sort of departments.
Yeah, I get in somehow. May not be through the art department, but the nursing department. Very cool. Art is healing, right? Yeah. How many nurses are here? Wow, thank you. Thank you. Anyway.
Yeah, well, so as a bridge, there's all kinds of bridges that you are building through your art, through your, through the social architecture. This is something that I've really adopted, that both of you, as a yes, you can do this. You're permissionaries to many of us, encouraging us. That's right. Mm-hmm. Encouraging us to create, encouraging us to, bring it out. And this is one of the things I met you. I had the great blessing to meet you in New York in that time in between the chapel in the city and then up when, where we are now in Wappingers. And it was at the East-West Gallery, and you were giving a talk on Bicycle Day, April 19th. You all know what Bicycle Day is?
Amanda's birthday.
It's the best birthday. But I got to meet you both, and it was like this moment of whoa, keep following the yellow brick road, I guess. And
you were already an incredibly outstanding artist, and yes, we met you in that interim period where we were on the move from a rental in the middle of New York City to a property that we could actually, build into something that our community could own.
Yeah, it was that interim period where they had condemned all the buildings, where,
scrap metal yards and auto body shops, and we were there and in the city, right?
Yeah, but we had moved out of there, moved into East-West. And while Brian was repairing buildings so we could hold public ceremonies there, which we did later that year, complied with all the things. We've been bringing the property back to really outstanding condition at this point.
Well, some of you heard us say today in our talk that that we're about to have our 281st in a consecutive and unbroken chain of full moon ceremonies that we've been holding since we started them in our loft in Brooklyn in 2003. So we had to move out of our loft and go into this space in Manhattan because we outgrew it. And then in Manhattan, it was like, this is not where we belong, because it all turned into, alcohol clubs and a lot of, police and shootings and things like that. It became a really heavy duty neighborhood, so we found this beautiful place in the country.
Yeah.
And that's our home.
Yeah.
And that's the one that we invite you to come visit.
Yes. Come to a full moon, and our church and there's so many amazing things, and there's workshops. Do you know about the workshops? Have you been seeing what's going on?
They're filling fast, actually.
The art
workshops.
The art lab. So we have a specific building that is committed to the art class, right? and teachers from the Magi, the Mystic Artists Guild International.
That's right.
Right?
I know, that's what we call
Are
the
coming to teach.
Magi.
Yeah.
Yes, the Magi are people like Amanda, and Autumn Sky was just there, people who come to teach. And we have, you know, a gallery where we feature the art of the visionary tribe, which you're seeing here at the at the conference. Beautiful, beautiful people, really amazing art. I mean, it was being made.
Yeah.
In this tradition.
We feel like we're just one node in a mighty network of outcroppings of visionary culture, psychedelic visionary culture. And we want to hold down, you know, that area very close to Millbrook, really, you know, where there were some seeds planted, you know, and you might think, New York, are you kidding?
Millbrook is
You know,
where,
but,
is where
you know,
Timothy Leary,
yeah,
Ram Dass,
right.
Messner, and a bunch of psychedelophiles got together to experiment.
Yeah, I mean, just for your entertainment, it happens to be that we're within walking distance of an LSD chapel.
At Cosm.
No, not at Cosm, but
At Cosm, we're just walking distance. Is what
to a chapel that was built in 1800s. That where the landowners of 3 properties came together and their initials formed LSD, and which they spelled out ELL, you know, SEE, you know, and DEE, you know, something like that. And it was like, you couldn't make it up, you know. It's so crazy funny. You know, we can't be the first, you know. So, that's okay. I like it. And it turned out that the town we're in, Wappinger, is the birthplace of Blotter. They started in 1969, some guy in some RV off, you know, like out in the woods, was and did millions of hits and supplied the U.S. For some time. So I had no idea. Learned this later in the Blotter book. Eric Davis, you know, stuff comes out. It's really so funny.
But the Hudson Valley, where we are, is also the cradle of the spiritualists.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of, you know, clairvoyance and seance and things like that were
The
going on.
Fox sisters were up there.
Sisters
Yeah.
and
They call it
photography.
the burnt over district in upstate New York because there was a lot of spirited kinds of organizations. And there's even a Dharma center very nearby. So
Every kind of
really
you know,
beautiful.
religion is represented up there. But anyway, what are we here to talk about?
Well, we're getting way in there. I'm just saying, like, guys, you gotta go look at some of the art at Psychedelic Science. Who's been in there yet? So tomorrow, I know they got tickets, like, for one day. If you haven't been in, you can go and see this show. It's next level. Zero in on some of this art, but also zoom back out. And this is a question I wanted to ask because it's something that I get asked often. And it's a big question because it's a very broad term in many ways. And we go deep into it. You guys talk about this deeply in this book. Do you all have this book?
Not yet.
You really need this in your library. I'm just saying because this is the book on the Entheon. This took a lot of time, and this is an amalgamation of your work around the Entheon, building this temple, and it has the whole beginning of this book is about visionary art.
Well, Alex likes to say that the book has a subtitle, really.
Yeah, the story of our tribe, from cave art to rave art.
Yeah, so what is visionary art, is this question.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
That's what
Well,
the book
I think
directly addresses. doesn't
It does. It pulls it out, and I think that each of us have access to a visionary state, and Blake called it the divine imagination, and it's been called by many different names. But and Jung thought of the collective unconscious and things like this. So we have access to this world both of dreams and of visions. And I think that with the psychedelics, we could say that it's a little bit different than dreams. It's a little bit different, and it has got a sacred edge to it most of the times in many journeys. You know, not all journeys, but much of the time there's an access to a spiritual dimension that formerly might have been unknown or thought didn't exist. In my case, I didn't think God really existed until I met the light, and then my whole soul got aligned, and so it was a psychedelic opening for me, and so we've always felt like the psychedelic tribe is just, and the psychedelic visionary artists are trying to describe something that many of us see, but is really challenging to depict. And so my ideal aspiration for visionary art is to be like a hollow bamboo, you know, somehow a lens into the dimension with a frictionless download of what was glimpsed. And so I like to think of it like a lens into that potentially sacred dimension. And at its highest form, it could reveal a mystical experience that the visionary artist or the person had. And in that way, the healing that might have come from that experience is somehow embedded like a battery of consciousness in that object. And so that becomes like magic. That becomes like access point to that dimension that was accessed by the person and described as best as possible. I call it, I'll just say one more thing. I think of it like a triangle, you know, and I put at the top transcendental beauty. You know, that's the mystical experience. That's like God consciousness, whatever you want to call it, Buddha consciousness. And somehow the person has an experience of that. But when they receive it, it comes in a form. If they're doing something like DMT, maybe with 5-MeO, maybe not. But with the visionary state, then you're getting some download, and I call it archetypal beauty. And so then to bring it out of consciousness, you need technical beauty. And so then aesthetic beauty is what the viewer receives when they see the piece. And the object is to be jettisoned back to transcendental beauty. So it's like a round that divine can come into, ground itself in our physical dimension to be glimpsed into our consciousness where it can last.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, so how do we get into that state, or how do we become the hollow bamboo or the hollow bone? Like,
Well, I think
what
a
is
lot
your
of us-
practice? Because I know you have a
Yeah.
very dedicated practice, a daily
Yes.
practice. Both of you also, you make sure to make art every day. You make music every day.
I make art every day. I make art every day. Alex and I make art every day, and that is a practice. And when you have a practice, you have to have a time for the practice. You know, you can't miss an appointment. You have to, you know, be there for the time, and you have to have a space for the appointment. You have to have a space where you can set up your stuff and you can have it be there when you want to drop into it. And you have to have the materials ready, the best materials you can afford, the ones that you love to work with the most. And then you have your content and whatever it is that you want to make art about. So yeah, having practice is very important. I have a meditation practice. I imagine that many people in the room, not everyone, has a meditation practice, and I would not I wouldn't want to be a meditation teacher, really, I guess, because I really feel like I came up with my own blend, and it works for me, but I can tell you what it is, and I'm not secretive about it. Basically, if you're sitting and in quiet, relative quiet, wherever you can find that is not too distracting, to really listen for the sounds that are around you. The birds that might be outside, or that somebody's picking up the garbage, or out there, or the refrigerator ice tray just emptied itself, or the air conditioner just went on or off. So you hear these things, and there's really there's really three rules three things not to do when you're meditating. According to my dear friend and Lama Drolman. But anyway, don't fall asleep. That's the first thing when you're meditating. The second one is don't stop your thoughts.
Or try.
Don't stop your thoughts. And then there's don't hold your thoughts. Now that's the trick. Because you're not going to stop your thoughts, but you're not going to hold your thoughts. So when you have a thought, you just, it's like a bubble. You just let it burst and blow away, and then you keep listening for the symphony. I call it the John Cage Symphony. Some of you understand what I mean, but anyway, it's John Cage Symphony of all the sounds that are around you blending together in this they're all making music, and nothing bothers you, and you just enjoy the music, and then the visions. Now for me, I usually close my eyes. A lot of people do open eye meditation, but I look for a far point in my vision, and I just see it. If I'm at all elevated, activated, if you know what I'm saying, I can get wonderful patterns and really interesting things to look at. So that your goal, I mean, if there's such a thing as a goal in meditation, is basically to be in the now. Of that frothy edge between what already happened, that's the past, that's the stories, and the absolutely empty and meaningless future that has nothing. You have no idea what's going to happen. So you're in the now, the consecutive moments of now. So be there. You have to keep listening, keep looking. I don't know. It's a practice.
Yeah.
It's a practice. And so, we all can go there. We all can just close our eyes, take a deep breath, remember our presence, and listen and ask. So what can I give? What can I do? So I believe, and I really, really believe we all are artists, right? We all have different forms that we're bringing that art through. But it's really important to find something to go deeper into. Find something that you love, that you can find a practice with, do something with your hands, and find a tribe, find a crew, to do it with. As I think a big part of visionary art for me is when I heard you both talk about visionary art and culture. And to me, that was where I was like, yep, I'm on board. I'm there. And that's been something that keeps drawing me back every year to come to COSM every October. My partner Joe Bob and I come and teach Mixed Tech Mystics. And I'm so proud and honored to be on the board. And I'm I gotta give a shout out to the COSM crew. You guys are here. Genevieve's not here, but I'm wearing some earrings she made of the seraphim. And we got Alexa and TJ and Peter and Emily around here.
Yeah, we have a whole crew of people that are our friends from Denver that come to help us make our booth work, and
Joe and Ashley
on
the board, and all the supporters and the sponsors of COSM, and all the members.
Yes, thank you.
Become a member and come be a part of a love tribe. I mean, that's what this is. And we make art together. We talk about art. We talk about life.
If you want to start an art practice, check us out on Zoom for Art Church. It's a practice you could start once a month, just joining us for Art Church, but also the Vision Train.
And you can get on the Vision Train. We're all connected, and I want to give a shout out to David and Mia Bronner, and the whole Bronner's crew that is like the All One Gallery.
They are the All One Gallery.
And these, do you guys have your Phrygian hats yet? You can make them at the conference if you go all the way to the back to see the Tribe 13 Gallery. And then you've got
That's
the
where you made
Bronners.
yours?
Yeah, this is the
You
first
made that.
And guess what, guys? Today I got my hat, and it's Juneteenth. You know that?
Oh,
You know
yeah.
how important this day is?
It is.
Wow.
And this hat
Yeah.
is this is the Liberty hat. This is the
Yes.
Freedom hat.
Yes.
And we all need to know the history of it, and they educate us about this back
Yes.
there. So, thank you to all the sponsors and the people, because it takes the patrons, it takes the artists, the
Yes.
innovators to create the Renaissance, right, that changed the world, and we're in the midst of the Regenaissance.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's because we're upwardly spiraling.
All right, we're gonna do the
Okay.
dome show. Let you see what's percolating.
Yes.
All right.
Go back
Thank
to
you.
lying down comfortably, and we're gonna pull these chairs off the stage, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay. We're gonna
Thanks
come
to
on.
everybody. We're very excited about the next development of basically Entheon too, because we got a great engineer who's figured out how to attach the heads to the building.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.